Hello, everyone. Welcome, everyone, to this Instagram Live. My name is Alexis. I'm very happy to be here with Nina. So we are going to wait a couple of minutes because I know that some of you are joining this Instagram Live. So welcome, everyone. So today we're going to be talking about somatic therapies. We're going to be talking about bodywork, about holosomatic bodywork. And whereas we're waiting for some people to join us, it would be great if you can write your country, where you are located, where you live in the chat so that we can see where you are connecting from. And then we're going to wait just for a couple of minutes, and then we will start this discussion about bodywork, holosomatic bodywork, also how to manage stress and burnout. So we're going to have, I'm really believe we're going to have a very interesting conversation today. Amazing. I see a few people joining the live. Great. Hi, Munir from Rotterdam. Amazing. Hi, Munir. Nice to see you here. Amazing. I think we are ready to start the conversation about bodywork. So, hello, Nina. Welcome to you. This is Instagram Live. Nice to have you here.
Hi, Alexis. Thank you for having me.
How are you today?
I'm good. We had plenty of sun in Munich. So, yeah.
Wow.
Beautiful day.
Wow. So it's a special day in Munich because normally there is not so much sun. I remember when I was living there a long time ago. So
pretty much, yeah. But spring is treating us well.
Amazing. Great. So Nina, welcome to the Instagram Live. So I'm very happy to have you here. So today we want to talk about bodywork. We want to talk about stress, about burnout. I know that there are many people with stress. There are many people with burnouts, and they don't know what to do. So we are going to be discussing about what to do with the body, how to recognize the symptoms, the effects of stress or burnout in the body. So Nina is actually one of our students, and she finished already. She's a graduate, and she finished the Holosomatic Bodywork therapy training. She finished some time ago. But you are not new to bodywork. You're not new to somatic therapies and to this work. So you have been working with those therapies with the body, also with the mind as well, for a very long period of time. So I know that you started your own healing journey like 11 years ago. And it would be great if our audience can know more about you, about yourself, how you started, how everything started, how your healing journey started, what happened.
Yeah, so let me take you back 11 years ago in March. On the 30th of March, it was a beautiful sunny afternoon, and I got a call from my mom saying that my younger brother died in a motorbike accident. And so that's basically crushed my world. And since I gained knowledge about the nervous system and all about polyvagal theory, I know now that it was a shutdown basically when I got the call. And I also had a second shutdown back then on the same day. And that's basically where my healing journey started. And it took me a long way to come here. And I'm very happy to finish also the inner camp training. But I was working back then as a marketing professional in Munich. And so I experienced lots of stress as well. And after my brother passed, we had a period where I stayed with my family. We organized everything like the funeral and stuff. But it really hit home. And I got back to my job 5 weeks after my brother passed, and then I just continued working. And from point of view that I have now, it seemed like I just lived in survival mode for so long until I crashed into a burnout in 2019. I was head of marketing back then, and I loved my job. I was working over hours. I was working 2 jobs at the time, and it was just a lot. And then at some point, I just felt I can't deal with it anymore. I just can't hold things together, and that's when things crushed again. So that's when I got the vision of my company Soul Stories, and I knew something had to change, and I took the steps to really build my own company. And I took a yoga teacher training. I took coaching sessions, did my coaching certificate, then also got trained in lots of other stress management and burnout prevention courses, and then finally ended up with listening to Peter Levine, which is one of the most trauma-informed practitioners right now on this world, probably, beside Gabor Mate. So yeah, I listened to them, and then somehow it just struck me, and it made so much sense. And then I just really felt a new sense of understanding of how I behaved for so long. And yeah, I just knew I need to take the training. So I took the training with them, and also got introduced to Beaton Tonkov, which is one really well-known breathwork facilitator. And after I finished the training, I really experienced my first bodywork session, and that's when I really knew, okay, I really have to become a bodyworker myself. So yeah, that's basically when I looked up different companies and found InnerCamp, and I really felt drawn to your approach, and that's how I started my journey with InnerCamp. And yeah, fast forward, I'm having my own business with Soul Stories, having my own retreats. I taught and had beautiful transformations last year on my soul retreat in Ibiza, this year in Majorca coming up in May. So yeah, and in between just really having bodywork sessions in group sessions and one-on-one, and really have a beautiful life.
So many plans. Wow, amazing. It's so nice to hear. And when was the right moment, or when was the moment for you to realize that you had to work in your body and you had to do body work? Because many of us start with mind work, so coaching, talk therapies. Like, we believe that traumas are only stored in the mind, and then at some point we realize that there is something going on in the body. When was your moment to switch to or to start with somatic therapies?
So that was probably my first approach, was more body-centered when I experienced my burnout, because I really got to know how stress influences our hormones, our nervous system, our immune system. So that was the first thing that really brought me to body work, and then like experiencing the body work session on my own and listening to Peter Levine and Gabor Mate really draw me into this work. And I just really felt that something was missing all along. And I also see that in my clients. Some of them have been to talk therapy for quite some time, but once they experience body work, they're just like over the moon happy, because they really feel it so natural. And sometimes the primal energy that scares them a little bit as well. I mean, but it's a beautiful journey, really.
Amazing. I remember also 12 years ago when I started my own healing journey as well. I was living in Munich, and we know that I was working for some time in a company that was actually founded by your dad. And it was very interesting because we didn't know this until you joined the training at InnerCamp. And it's very funny to know this. Actually, I started with a similar situation with also burnout. You mentioned burnout in your life, in your career as well. And actually, there's a lot of burnout. I was checking the statistics today, and I saw that there is a study from the 2024, from last year, that says that 48 workers in 8 countries have experienced burnout currently. So it's like half of them experience burnout. Also, in the same year, there is another study saying that in the United States, 76% of the employees experience burnout at least once in their lives. So this is a lot of burnout. It's a lot of stress. So what is going on? You work with people with burnout, with the stress. So what cases do you find when working with those people?
Well, most of the time they're missing a vision or a purpose in their life. So that keeps them thriving, and they put energy in situations, on people, on jobs that are not meant for them. So I experienced the same, like when I was doing my job, and I really loved to do working as a head of marketing with my team and stuff. But at the same time, I was just burning out, because I love to be a perfectionist, to control everything. And lots of my clients are the same. Like, they love to control their whole life, and then when things collapse, they're like, oh, how do I cope with that? So that's what I basically experience with most of my clients. And also a big issue is not letting go. Like when I do body work with them, working on their arms or on their legs, and I just feel the tension in their legs or in their arms, and then I say, just let go. I do it. I just guide you through the process, and they're like, yeah, but I was letting go already. I'm like, nah, you're not. So let it go even more. So yeah, that's basically what I experience with my clients.
And why do they want to be perfectionists? Why perfectionism is so important for those people? What do you
But
think?
yeah, I guess because they learned in at a young age that to be loved, they have to be perfect. And so they just do everything to really be perfect, and sometimes it's just too much. You just can't handle everything to be perfect at all the time, because there's life changes that can't keep you perfect all the time. And so yeah, once you really break that down, you really break through.
Amazing. Yeah. Yeah, it happens. It's also happened to me as well. So I wanted to be a perfectionist. So for me, I had to follow always the guidelines, the rules, and everything had to be perfect at home, at work, in every environment. And I was collapsed at some point. I felt like I was broken. So everything looked perfect outside, but inside my body was broken. I was not able that actually my body was yelling at me saying, stop, you don't like this, you don't want this. So the body is very smart, right? And sometimes we are not able to access this information. There is some wisdom in the body, and the body is trying to communicate to us and saying, hey, you don't like this job, or you don't like this relationship, or you don't like this environment. So the body is very smart and is trying to communicate, but we don't pay attention to it. And sometimes we are numb, and sometimes we don't feel. And people, it's very interesting because sometimes people come into our workshops, to our sessions, they say that they don't feel anything at all. It's hard for them to find a resource or to find safety or to find peace in the body. It's like they need something outside to feel peace, to feel love. They cannot find by themselves this peace and this love inside of them, within them. So it's a very interesting situation. And yeah, and tell me more about the stress and burnout. What are you doing? What kind of exercises, what kind of work are you doing? Are you applying the holosomatic bodywork with people that come with burnout, with the stress? Do you think holosomatic bodywork can help people with burnout and with the stress? You work with many people in one-on-one sessions, in group sessions. You know what is happening in the world. So what is happening? Can you really use what is the feedback you're getting from people when you use the holosomatic bodywork?
Well, so it depends. Like I'm talking to my clients at first when I meet them, and I then decide if I do body work with breath work or if I rather do Reiki first. Or I also had a client, I did EMDR with them also because I just felt like body work and breath work was too much at the time. So I really adjust to my soul clients' needs, which is really helpful because I feel sometimes people go to breathwork sessions and try to release their trauma and yeah, and then they end up like being more re-traumatized, and that's not really solving the problem, you know. So yeah, I just really see what my clients need and then adjust tools. And sometimes it's yeah, doing breath work, like slight breath work. Sometimes it's also doing yin yoga, which I love as well as a yoga teacher. And yeah, sometimes it's EMDR to really ground people first. But yeah, that's a really nice approach, and I love to combine the different tools.
Amazing, amazing. Very happy to see that. And what do you think when people sometimes we get in social media some comments of people saying, "Oh, they are going to be re-traumatized. This is too much. This is too intense for those people. So be careful." So what do you think about that? What do you think about traumatizing people, re-traumatizing people? Because there are people who are coming with panic attacks, with PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. So what do you need to say about that?
So what I love about the holosomatic therapy approach is that we really have the pendulation and titration. That's part of the process. So I experienced breathwork sessions where they just held people in the sympathetic state, and then they pushed them and pushed them and pushed them, and then they just finished the session, and people were there crying and not taken care of. So what I really love about your approach, and that's what I experience in every session I've been part with, was that you really have built a method where people are held, where they feel safe, because it's that they are like pendulating between the parasympathetic and the sympathetic nervous system, and that helps them to really titrate into little pieces of their trauma, but not at once. And that's what Peter Levine says as well. Trauma happens fast, but it heals like in a slow approach, and we can't like go into trauma full on. That's what some people do, and that's why re-traumatization happens. But that's why the holosomatic approach is really good at that point.
Yeah, right. And what do you say to when people on social media, when our haters say, oh, this is something demonic, this is like possession, there is some kind of bad energies, demonic energies. So now that you know more about trauma, that you know more about what we are doing, so in case someone is like having the doubt, is this really some kind of demonic energy? Are they really possessed? Or what is really going on when they have like these big reactions? People are shaking, people are yelling, people are shaking the whole body or moving the whole body. And this is something weird, right? Because we don't see it outside. We go outside, we just see people behaving properly. They don't speak loud. They try to behave properly, right? So what do you need to say about that?
So we've been talking about perfectionism and like coping in a right way, that everyone's fine, and people pleasing and all that sort of stuff. So with primal energy, it's very different. Primal energy is so strong and it can't be controlled at any point. So when I experienced my first bodywork session, I was like, whoa, what's happening here? Because I felt a strength and a potential that I never felt before in my body. That's because I was suppressing emotions, for sure. And I think you experience probably the same. And everyone who is part of a session, well, if you probably attend your first breathwork and bodywork sessions, never have done any breathing techniques and stuff, it can feel scary at some point when you see people that are screaming and crying and shouting, and but in the end, it's like very freeing. And if there are haters, I just tell them, well, experience a session yourself, because maybe you're just afraid to really go deep down and really experience what your life force is.
Right. And that sometimes we get people who have PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, people who are coming with anxiety, with panic attacks, and they are completely fine. So they are always safe. So we do the sessions in a way that is safe for everyone. So it's not like too much. We're not pushing so much the boundaries. So this is very important in everything we do. And sometimes we get like hundreds of people. So last time in January that we were in Munich, it was around almost, I think, 300 people. So it was a huge space with so many people doing those techniques, doing breath work, body work, and activating the sympathetic nervous system, going through so many things, many reactions. And then at the end, people were happy, right? So they have happy faces. They said that they had a transformative experience. So during the session, it might be weird and might be scary, but after the session, this the feedback we always get. We always get feedback like people are healing the diseases, they are healing some different situations, problems, they are releasing traumas, they feel better, they feel lighter, they are changing habits, they are changing the limiting beliefs as well. They realize that they have to change something in their lives. So there is so many insights, so much information when we do those practices. And some people, sometimes some people who come to the workshops, they write to us saying, oh, wow, I still feel many emotions. I feel like it's not integrated. I feel like I want to cry all the time after the workshop, or I want to yell. I feel like emotions. And where are these emotions coming from? And it's very interesting because many people don't realize that those emotions are actually not something coming from outside. It's something coming from inside. It's coming from within. So if you're feeling sadness after a session like this, and then this sadness can be coming from the past, could be coming from past traumas, could be coming from different scenarios from the past. And now when we do breath work, when we do body work, when we breathe more, when we do those practices, we basically feel what we have stuck in the body. And it's a really great opportunity to release, because we didn't release in the past. We didn't allow ourselves to release. And I see this very often with my dog. Sometimes I'm walking with my dog, with Osho, and then I see him shaking, and there is a weird situation, or there is another dog barking at him, or something's going on, and then he's just shaking, and then he's completely fine. I'm more concerned than Osho, because I feel like, oh my gosh, poor Osho. But no, Osho's fine, because he just released everything. And this is what mamas can do, and also human beings could do, but we don't do it. Because we need to be serious. We need to behave properly. We cannot shake. We cannot cry. We cannot express emotions. So our emotions are sacred.
They are. But, sometimes you just don't really know that trauma really happened to you. Like when my brother passed away, I was like, okay, that's like a really bad period in my time, but I didn't define it as trauma. So at first, when I got introduced to Peter Levine's work and Gabor Mate, I knew, okay, that is a profound trauma situation, and I really need to work on that. Even though I had like several years of personal development and did my yoga teacher training and my coaching certificate and stuff, but still I was like, yes, I'm still fine, I just coped in my survival mode, and that's what Peter Levine says as well. Like the body always is looking for homeostasis, like for balance, and even if you can't get the balance inside of you, the body just copes to really get an outside balance. So if you drink, if you take drugs, if you sleep or whatever, take narcotics, that's also a way of really the body trying to keep you in some sort of homeostasis, even though it's not healthy. So that's also interesting, because we all are having coping mechanisms at some point, yeah. And so it's just a different way of really coping with your feelings and emotions, and that's why holosomatic therapy is really a lovely approach to do that.
Amazing. And you work with many people, like in one-on-one sessions, and you know many of the problems. How can you support, or how can you help people if someone is listening to us right now and don't know if they have a trauma, or there is something going on in their lives that, is something that they can heal? What can you tell them? How can they realize that they have a trauma, or that they have a blockage? We don't need to call it trauma. We can call it a blockage. We can call it a situation, an issue. So what are the signs? How can people realize that, hey, I need to do some somatic therapy. I need to come to holosomatic bodywork, holosomatic therapy. So what are the signs of people when they come to you?
So most of the times they experience certain blockages. If that is in their job, that they don't get promotions, or that they have like issues with their team members or with their bosses, and then also like having issues in their partnerships with their children. And that's basically just mirrors on the outside, mirroring our problems back to us. And if you experience like the same situation in different areas of your life, it's probably very usual that you have experienced some sort of emotions that are stuck in your body. I wouldn't say it's trauma in the first place. That's a different topic. But definitely, if you come up with certain situations that, even over the years, that you think, well, my partner behaves like my dad, or my partner behaves like my boss, like certain connections that really remind you of someone or something that really traumatized you in a situation, that's probably good signs to know that there is work to do. And also if you're not living your full potential, like if you're jealous, if you're envious of someone else's life, just really that's a mirror as well to really look within yourself and see what's missing in your life, what you really want, but you're not going for.
Right. And what is your favorite tool to regulate your nervous system? Which one? You have learned, you have studied many different trainings. So what do you do when you feel like unregulated, when you feel like there is something that you need to do? You need to bring more balance?
Oh, I love to dance.
Ah.
So yeah, really love ecstatic dance, and I also do ecstatic dance in my soul retreats, and everyone loves it because they just are so natural and so much in their feminine energy as well. So the feminine energy is also our parasympathetic nervous system. You know, it's just like being more in the flow and really experiencing life on a different level. And yeah, so I love to dance, and beside that, I really love movement, if that is yoga or I love to travel a lot. And if I really feel stuck or if I need to get my thoughts rearranged, I love to be close to water, if that is the ocean or if that's a river. I mean, you're living close to the ocean.
Yes,
Which
very
is great. And
close. Yeah.
also when we took the training in Barcelona, we really booked a hotel close to the ocean because we knew after the sessions it's probably going to be intense, and we would love to be close to water to really re-regulate our nervous system.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you for the tips. And how do you think the whole somatic therapy training help you in your business? Because you did already a few trainings, so you were not new to somatic therapies, to this kind of work. So what do you think you gain from this training?
Well, as I see in the experience my clients do, it's just unlocking a different potential in them. Like as you said, most of the people they're used to do mindset training and working on their mindset, and that's just not enough, and that's just not taking them as far as to living their dream life. And in my Instagram bio, I say I align body, mind, and soul to live your life in the best way. And that's really what I do with my clients. And as you said, we unlock different patterns, and then they behave in a different way. They make better choices for themselves, and not falling back into their coping mechanisms, even though sometimes they do, which we all do. And then we just need to regulate ourselves as well. And really unlocking the full potential. And that's what Holosomatic Bodywork does, and what mindset can't take you this far, you know.
Amazing.
At
Thank you
least
for
from what
sharing.
I experienced. I mean, some people, they're running marathons and they have a pretty beautiful mindset. But yeah, in my point of view and what I see in my soul clients, it's definitely different if you have a body first approach in therapy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What is the future of Soul Stories, your company?
Oh, well, I would love to travel the world with my soul clients, if that is in soul retreats or soul experiences, but also bringing the holosomatic therapy to even more people. And in nice group sessions, I have 3 group sessions coming up in the western part of Germany. So I haven't been there, but quickly sold out, so I'm pretty happy to meet new people there, and to see you in
Amazing.
August. With
Yes, we
in a
will be
camp,
there.
and so really expand my business in the most beautiful way, and to
Amazing.
live a life that's healthy and not in a perfectionism way, you know.
Very right. Very important. Yes. Yes. So we will be back in Munich in August. So we will have a 2 day city retreat in Munich. I'm very looking forward to that event. And many people you see in our workshops, there are hundreds of people every time we run a workshop. There are many people interested in holosomatic therapies, and they really want to change their lives. They want to improve their lives. They know that they need something. They are already looking for something different because they realize that what they got is not enough. Medication is not enough. Talk therapy sometimes is really great. I'm not saying it's not needed, but they need something extra. And working with the body is something that we usually don't do, and it's very important. So many traumas, many blockages are stuck in the body. So if any of you are living in Germany or around, so you are very welcome to join us in the city retreat in Munich. It's going to be for a couple of days. We're going to do many different practices. We're going to be doing breath work, body work, energy activation. So it's going to be around 16 hours of a lot of work. So normally the workshops we did last year were like for 4 hours. But this is going to be like 4 times the work that we were doing in these workshops. So it's going to be very, very interesting. Amazing. Nina, anything you would like to add to all the wisdom you have shared with the audience today?
Well, I would just love to hear your best tools if people are dysregulated, if they're experiencing stress, burnout. Is there anything that you could probably give them as advice?
Yes, I breath work is my main thing. So when I feel unregulated, when I feel like the dysregulated, like something is going on in my body, I feel like I'm stuck. I feel stressed. I feel like I don't like what I'm doing, or I get triggered by other people. Is coming back to my body is to breathe. And when I breathe in a conscious way, I understand what is happening in my body. Maybe I'm not able to remove the emotion because the emotion is telling me, hey, you're not comfortable here, or you're doing something that you should not be doing, or someone is like, for example, crossing your boundaries, or you didn't set boundaries. But the breath is helping me to connect to those emotions. Once I connect to the emotions, I understand what is going on. And then I have the possibility to change my life. I have the possibility to set boundaries. I have the possibility to understand what I want. So breathing, coming back to the breath, coming back to the present moment is very important for me. In the past was about perfectionism. It was about the future. It was thinking about the future, making plans for the future. And then I was never present. I was really achieving different goals. So I remember normally I say that is my past life. So before, when I was working in IT, I never lived the present moment. I was always like escalating new positions. I was manager of managers. And then I was not able to really enjoy any step at all. I was really happy all the time. I was not able to celebrate all the small milestones. So life is also about celebrating those small milestones. It's about coming back to the present moment. It's about realizing, okay, where am I? Maybe it's a moment to celebrate. Maybe it's a moment to change something in my life. And I need to be brave and I need to leave the comfort zone, whatever. So the breathing is going to help you a lot. And for me, it's helping me a lot to realize where I am.
Oh, it does, yeah. And what role does intuition play in your life now that you're not so much perfectionist anymore?
Sometimes I try to do perfection. I try to be a perfectionist, and I come back to the old patterns. So I cannot say that you remove those patterns and forever you are like free or trauma free. So sometimes you realize that, oops, I'm coming back to the same pattern. So there is something going on. I need to work again. I need to do more work, more body work, breath work, whatever. So intuition is helping me to work with myself and also work with other people. So when I'm doing more breath work, more body work, when I'm doing more of these practices, I can connect to what I really want. I can connect to the emotions, and then I can understand what I really need, what I really want, what is the focus, or where I should be focusing my energy. So the intuition is helping me not only with myself, but it's also helping me with clients. When I go to clients, when I go to groups, it can be groups of 300 people, it can be 400 people. Intuition is helping me to understand what this group is needing, because every group is different. It might be the same city, it might be the same kind of event, it might be the same music, but every group is completely different. And maybe one group is needing like more release, another group is needing more self-healing, more healing, more love, more nurturing love. Every group is different, and then it's about also using the intuition to connect to the needs of your clients. And when you can connect to your intuition, when you are grounded, when you do the practices with yourself, then you can understand your clients, and then you can become a better facilitator and therapist. So connecting to the intuition is very important, and it's helping me actually in my career, but also in my personal life.
And how do you prepare for like a session with 400 people? I mean, that's a lot. And tapping into everyone's intuition, that's a different topic. But how do you prepare? I mean, I saw you before your altar and then really going deep into yourself. But what are your practices?
Yeah, in the tools, last year was like sometimes workshops, like 8, 9 workshops in a row. And then almost every day we had a different workshop. So is doing breath work with myself, is doing some self practices with myself. For me, there is always a ritual. When I start a new workshop, before meeting the people, I do a ritual with myself. I do some breathing. I prepare myself. I do some cleansing as well, so that when I go to the stage and I'm meeting so many people, hundreds of people, I'm ready and I feel grounded. Of course, there are small like tricks and techniques that I do during the session as well to feel comfortable. with so many people, but it's also the preparation before the workshop. I think it's not only about coming and being the preparing yourself just in the same day of the workshop. It's also all the preparation you have done weeks, months before coming to the session. Because if you are not doing those practices, imagine you are not doing these practices, you get triggered by different things. You are not really healing your issues, your blockages, your traumas, etc. And then you come to a workshop like this, and then someone, for example, is opening the eyes and not following the instructions. So you're going to get triggered because it's like, oh, they're not doing the work. So it's also the work that we do previously in the months before the workshop that we feel comfortable with the triggers, we feel comfortable with people not following the instructions, we feel okay with not being perfect, with not having a perfect setup. And also sometimes we need to improvise in the sessions. You know, the music is not working, or a headphone is having a technical issue. So any of this can happen in the workshops, and we need to really go fast until fix the problem. Okay, it's also be okay. It's about being okay with those technical issues, and it's about improvising. And in order to be okay with that, it's also about avoiding the pattern of trying to be perfectionist. If you want everything to be perfect, then
that's not going to work.
Probably you're going to suffer a lot in the workshops, right? If everything should be perfect, and with so many people.
Yeah, but what I think is really, really important also about the process, it's like 50-50. It's 50% of the facilitators work and 50% what you are doing. Like if you're not breathing properly, you're probably not going deep, and that's why you and I also do that in my group sessions and in my one-on-one sessions. Tell people the deeper you want to go, you just have to breathe even more, even deeper. And so many people, they're just not connected to their breath. Like we all are used to shallow breathing up here when we're working. We probably only work up here, breathe up here, and it's really easy to breathe into the belly. But sometimes I have clients, and then I ask them to really deep breathe into their belly, and it's not happening at all. We really have to practice breathing, proper breathing first. And holosomatic therapy is not like I'm lying down and my practitioner is doing all the work. It's what I put in to the process as well that keeps the process going, and really experience beautiful visions and whatever comes up in the session.
Yeah, very well said. Very well said. And actually, it's not only our work, so it's the client's work as well. So it's 50-50%. So if 50% is the client, if the client is not doing the work, so we cannot be responsible 100% of not getting the desired results. If someone is not able to, or doesn't want to leave the comfort zone, is not brave enough in the session today, so it's not us at the end. So we can do many different things. We can push people, guide people, but at the end is also, and this is something really cool about what we do, about the therapy that we are guiding, so that we are not 100% responsible for the results of our clients. Our clients are also responsible, so we can feel better. And some of our students come and they try to be very perfectionist and they try to heal everyone. And sorry, it's not about healing everyone. It's not about healing all your clients. Your role as a holosomatic therapist, as a holosomatic facilitator, is to create a safe space for your clients. I mean, you guide with instructions, you guide the session, you create safety so that they cannot re-traumatize themselves, they cannot traumatize themselves, they cannot create false memories, etc. But then, if they're not achieving the results that they are expecting, this is not your thing, it's not your problem. Okay, sometimes people will come with the expectations of, I want to heal all my traumas. And I have heard this in some workshops, I want to heal all my traumas. It's impossible. The human being is not like that. We are not robots. We cannot heal all the traumas in just one workshop. So those expectations are not going to be accomplished.
And it's the same with releases. Like some people, they just come to the sessions and they want to really experience a full release. But sometimes silent work that's gonna take part in themselves is sometimes more important than really having a big release. Some people just have a big release when they're really connected to their intuition, to their inner self.
Right. Sometimes less is more. And this is what they try to teach to many of our students. Sometimes less is more. So you don't need to go to wild practices. Sometimes with less practices, just being aware of your body, of the breath, of your emotions is already healing.
Yeah. And just be
Thank you
humble.
so much. Thank you so much, Nina, for the conversation today. And before we leave, I would like to ask if there are any questions in the audience. Maybe someone that is watching now the live is having any questions. So really feel free to write in the chat box and then we can answer any questions. I see someone asking to come to Hanover or Frankfurt. So I don't think it's going to happen this year, but okay, you have Munich like maybe 3 hours, right?
Yeah.
Nina, it's like 3 hours. It's not so far away, Munich, and it's going to be amazing in August. So if there are any questions, feel free to write in the chat. Also, if you're watching the recording, feel free to write also your questions or any comments, and then we're going to be very, very happy to answer them. We like to see comments and questions, and yeah. Great. So I don't see any questions right now.
Okay, beautiful. Thank
Amazing.
you so
So
much.
thank you so much, Nina, for your time today, for sharing your wisdom. I wish you all the best with Soul Stories. I'm sure that you're going to do really great, that your business is going to grow and grow and grow, and then you're going to help so many people. So thank you so much for your time today, Nina, and see you in August in Munich for the city
And thank
retreat.
you for your teachings and for your method. It's changing the world.
Thank you. Thank you. Take care. And everyone, thank you so much for joining us today and for watching until the end. Thank you.
Thank you for your time.